up, everybody? Welcome to Bedroom Confessions. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sam.
And today we're going to talk about building together, how you build in a relationship. A lot of people talk about the negativity, and it's easy to talk about the negativity, but not enough people talk about how you really put it together, how you really become a power couple, what being a power couple even means, and how you get to that point. Or when you're at that point where you're trying to go further, how do you get further? Like, how do you invest together when it's time to pick a house, when it's time to name the kids, all that type of shit. We're going to break some of that down to you, some steps you can take, some mindsets you can use, just some different ideas. You can find us if you need us. I'm doing this at the beginning, and I promised Sam I wasn't going to say what I feel like saying no more, so I'm not going to say it. But you... Anyways, building together. So here's the two things I usually hear the most, and I guess from a guy I should come from the guy's perspective, and then maybe have you come from the woman's perspective I'm trying to build. But I guess from the guy's perspective, it's like you might say a lot of guys have the issue of women saying one thing but then acting out another. Basically, is what I'm saying to you. So it's like you want the horse, you want the carriage, you want the house, you want all this stuff. So then when moves are made to get to that situation or to get to that point, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I'm not ready for all that. Or now you acting crazy, or now you're pulling back. So from the woman's perspective, why do you think it might be where like some guys are in a relationship and they're doing supposedly everything a woman would want you to do, but they're still hesitant towards it?
I don't know if it could be a number of things. I think it could be fear, it could be selfishness, it could be dishonesty, because I know everybody's probably like, dang, that's 3 things already. But it can be dishonesty because a woman can get into a relationship or will get into a relationship knowing that like she's not ready for it. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that she shouldn't do it. She should probably, work on her, learn herself a little more, and love herself first and everything. A woman will know all of that and still get in a relationship and just put herself and this other person through a bunch of unnecessary shit. Selfishness, just not really even thinking about the other person in a relationship, whether that's a woman or a man. Like, just not thinking about that other person and what they may want or how they may feel. And then fear, being hurt in the past or whatever. And granted, people always say you shouldn't carry what you've been through in your past relationships into your new relationships. It's
everybody does to an extent.
I was going to say that. That's exactly what I was getting ready to say, because you can't say that about the negative things that you gain from your past relationships and then turn around and like try to like make it seem like, oh, but it's okay to implement what you learned from that relationship, because you learn from the good and the bad in your past relationship.
Always a good, no matter how bad it was. There's still some kind of good.
Even if you're good, what you learn, your good lesson came from a bad experience. Like you could have been with somebody and you could have had a bad experience, and you could have learned from that bad experience what not to do again, so you don't do it again in your new relationship. You can't be all right with those types of bring it into the relationship today and then make it seem like, you don't understand why this person might be a little bit afraid to trust you going out with a certain friend or something like that. Like,
speaking of trust, good segue. Mm-hmm. If I don't trust you in a relationship, how am I going to trust you with my finances?
Well, you can.
Like, I'm going to give you my bank card when I want to look through your phone still. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They kind of go hand in hand. I think people sleep on that too. But, okay, so while we're still at the very beginning of the show, that's such a perfect segue. That's crazy. But while we're still at the very beginning of the show, guys, we're going to come back to trust a lot, because all this comes back to trust. Building together is trust. Like having kids, the house, the cars, the investments, is all trust at the end of the day. That's really what it is. Mm-hmm. You got to put your faith in the person or it's not going to work. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just not going to work. And that includes the whole relationship. Mm-hmm. It's just not going to work.
It's through the whole relationship.
Those of you who always like ambitious pictures on Instagram but then don't understand why your women not buying your pipe dreams, that probably goes more hand in hand than you think it goes.
Yes.
Like, you know, or you the chick who you out here, you know, being a fast ass and you think your dude don't know about it, but you wondering why he not spending all his money on you. It's probably because you being a fast ass. It's like sometimes people do things and don't think there's a consequence, but there is a consequence. It's just not right in your face.
Right.
So you're like, why he not spending money on me?
Yeah, like
because you've been being this way.
Yeah.
Why she not doing this no more? Because you ain't doing that. Mm-hmm. Like people just don't be putting it together. Mm-hmm. So it all comes back to that.
Selfish too. You know, that's selfish too because you get comfortable and you think you know a person or you got a person, like they're there. You know, they're yours. You know, they're not going anywhere, and you like. You're not even paying enough attention to that person because you're so comfortable with that to even notice the change that much. It pops up out of nowhere. Like, they could have been not spending money on you for like weeks and you just now noticed it just because you were being selfish the whole time. But it all just comes back to trust, like we were just saying. Right.
So, Sam, from the woman's perspective, what do you think? Like, a lot of women, like, what's an issue a lot of women have when they trying to build or question, like, that they don't understand, like, that dudes be doing or guys don't do?
Well, I think I have, like, two major ones. One of them being that women have this, I'm going to call it an issue. I'm going to say that women have an issue of fake independence. And I'm not saying it before bitches, it's not fake, and nothing wrong with being independent. Okay, we get all of that. I'm not saying fake literally, and there are women in the world who really are balling and have their shit together financially and in other ways. So, you know, don't get your panties all in a bunch. I'm just saying, women pretend too much that they wouldn't be okay if offered the opportunity to sit pretty and not have to do anything but be pretty and take care of home. Women pretend like that's an issue for them. I don't know why. It's like, I'm not sure if it's like a false bravado type of thing or if it's a, you know, grow up in a single mom, you know, with a single mom type of thing. Like, you know, all you see and hear is, oh, well, you know, you're a woman, you're strong, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And after a while, you start really in your head like, man, fuck that, I can do this shit by myself. Like, they done said it so much that you actually, like, you know, believe it. And then before you know it, you know, put yourself in a dumbass situation and you looking back at them same women like, why did I listen to y'all?
Big facts. But a lot of y'all dudes, though, man, it's a double-edged sword because some of y'all niggas, y'all be out here like, man, I want my lady to cook. I want my lady to clean. I want her to take care of the household. I want her to have my kids. I want her to take care of the kids. Job. And yeah, you can't keep a job, man. You don't got no skills, no education. Like, the best thing you are in life is a 2K champion. But you want all these things from your lady, yo. And you maxed out. You don't even get paid. Like, you're not even one of the people who make $50,000 a year to play the game. Like, you literally just a good online player, and that's it. Like, that's the ceiling, bro. At like above 80%. That's your ceiling. You like 108 and 60 online or something. It's like, okay, that don't mean shit in no real life. Does that mean anything? But you want a woman to do all this stuff.
But you talking about you not gonna. Those be the types of niggas that be picky about the jobs they can get. Like, they got credentials to be picky with.
Yeah. You ever had a dude before where you like, yo, just get a job and work your way up from that job? It's like build some momentum. So you like, yo, the warehouse is hiring, McDonald's is hiring. You just, you know, you giving your nigga ideas, thinking you being a helpful girlfriend. He mad and shit. Man, ain't working at no fucking McDonald's, man.
I ain't doing that. And you ask, man, look, yeah, I've had a situation like that. And I told this person, I said, you don't really have the room to be acting like that.
Listen, millennials in general, okay? Millennials in general, but especially the men. I'm sorry, millennial men gonna get mad at me for saying this, but hey, if you're listening to this show, you already know what it is. You're going to be mad no matter what's your sex, gender.
Right.
Yeah, I don't care if you're gay. You're going to hear something you're going to get offended by. So just get over it. But, guys, y'all have not, millennial men have not really been men in my opinion. They don't really run the household. They don't really be trying to pay all the bills. You ask these dudes for leadership. Like, think about your average millennial man, okay? So not the exceptional ones. Just literally your average millennial dude that you come into contact with. Do you trust him with your financial future?
Hell no.
Wait, hold up. Wait. Even deeper. Does he even seem like he knows what the fuck he's talking about? Like, does you get any kind of inkling he knows some shit? Like,
and y'all probably gonna be mad at me when I say this, but hey, it is what it is. I don't trust no nigga that still live with his mom at our age with my money. And I'm not saying that like it's a problem that your parents still allow you to live with them. Hey, shit. Get it while you can, because most of us got the boot real young.
Right.
So get it while you can.
Exactly.
But I will say that I'm not handing you my debit card if you live with your mama. You don't know how to handle stuff. You pay your phone bill, whoop-de-doo. Your mother needs $50 to the water bill, okay. Like,
yeah, I don't know what it is with people who still live with their parents. I guess at our age, but for those of you who don't know our age, we just said we millennials. So you should know our age range.
Exactly.
But, it's like it annoys me how kind of like so many of our generations are some loser shit. It's annoying because it's like okay, it annoys me how they'll be like okay, I pay half the bills of my parents. Okay, I'm like you don't really pay half the bills of parents. Like don't make your importance. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not saying everyone's situation isn't like that. Okay, some parents really do need their kids, but in most situations, your parents had that house before you even got old enough to help. Even if you just had one parent, you just had a single mom or a single dad, they still had what they had before you got old enough to help. So why would I buy that now all of a sudden they need your help? Your 45-year-old mom wouldn't make it without your 26-year-old ass in the crib. You want me to buy that story? She made it when you was all this other shit y'all went through together and she made it, but now she can't. Just say you scared to be on your own. Like, and that's okay. Nobody's even saying we can't build with someone who's never been on their own. The point is you come in knowing if something's going to happen, you're going to have to make it happen.
Yeah.
Because they don't know. They ain't never been late on no rent. You know what I'm saying? Or had no car note or none of that type of, like, they ain't really been through that shit like that. They ain't had them lights and shit like that or the annoying ass neighbors and they don't know which bills you can pay now, which bills you might have to pay later or actually having a rent over your head. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So it's like you got to be a little bit more patient with them. But you know that coming in. That doesn't mean they can't be great because once you teach them the system, some of the motherfuckers is beast. Like, they start putting the money in places you like, oh shit, look at you. Like, look at you go. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But you know coming in, like, all right, I'm going to have to, this is going to be a little bit of a project. We're not going to be just coming in and just doing all this shit. And that's the thing. And now we're going to really start going into it and the building together. So once you get past the trust, you know, and those issues, and then we establish both of y'all need a job, but that's mainly for the dudes because the women for the most part are working. Niggas, step your game up, like for real. Before you can be king of the jungle, you gotta be king of the jungle, right? So like in most of the animal kingdom, you gotta do what? You gotta knock off the older dude so you can get all the chicks. Yeah. To me, millennial men don't have enough of that kind of an attitude. Like you just coming in like, oh, we can all get chicks. Yeah, okay, that's fine, but y'all don't take no pride in having your chick more taken care of than the other chick. Y'all worried about trying to get our other chick so you can have a side piece. No, it's better to have a woman who's well taken care of, who can't say nothing but good things about you than it is to have a side piece who's attractive too. Mm-hmm. Like literally, it's better. Like that means more to men and women when they hear that or they see that. They be like, oh, y'all in love. That's a side piece thing. That's regular. Mm-hmm. But dudes don't be getting it like that. So I think the number one thing in building together, in my opinion at least, obviously every case is different, but in my opinion, men, I'm talking mainly the millennial men, you gotta set the vision for the household. You know, you really have to set the vision. Like sometimes I'll just sit down and be like, all right, boom, we're gonna put this money here, right? And the reason we're gonna put this money here is because this company is in this industry and this industry is about to do X, Y, and Z, right? And so that's gonna be worth this amount of money in whatever amount of years, and we're gonna get in early, right? Now, here's something else. For you dudes who already kind of know what I'm talking about, remember, if you're dealing with someone who doesn't know as much as you know, you got to slow the game down. So if you use that language, they're going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Put it in the simple. This is a company that does this. This service about to blow up. We can get it on the ground. It don't cost that much money. Do this with me. And that's where the trust comes in because it's like, okay, damn, that is $70 or $100. But I love you and I trust you. So if you tell me if I put it here, it's going to make me more money, I'll put it there.
Not only that, but you look at it that way, and you also look at it and how many times during the month do you waste $70 to $100?
Yeah, that's the
doing
big thing.
Nothing.
I mean, people, if y'all never thought about that question, Sam just asked, think about it right now. How many times do you waste $70, $100 doing nothing or doing something that has zero chance of making you any money back? Yeah, when we go to the movies, how much the money we usually spend?
We spend $100 before we get to the movies.
Most times.
Most times.
I know some of y'all like, you being ridiculous. No, we not.
No,
We
not.
usually go to dinner first. No, deadass. We usually go to dinner first.
Yeah.
So it's like movies, like you don't really have. There's a few movies where we don't go to dinner, but most of the time we go to
Most
dinner.
of the
So
time
it's
we
like
go
that's
to
gonna be
dinner
like
first.
$100 with the gas and the dinner and the tickets. Then we gonna want some snacks.
Yes,
you
and
know
we usually go to the movies that if we go the day before it actually premieres.
Exactly.
All the way,
the tickets gonna be
and
a
then
little
we
bit more.
sit in a certain area. So
well, this is
that's
just us
more,
being bougie for those y'all.
Yeah,
but
but
I know some of
still.
y'all gonna be like, yeah, that's bougie. Yeah, a little
Well,
bit.
okay, but whatever. Anyway, the point is we spend $100 before we get to the movies.
Right. But the point is, and that's not saying anything's wrong with doing that. But the point is, we're gonna go to this movie. We may have a good time, or the movie might suck. We don't really know yet. But the point is, even if we have a great time, there's no chance we getting that $100 back, and there's no chance that $100 gonna make us any more money. Like that's gone. Like, we throwing that in that bucket, okay? So you don't have a problem doing that. Everybody loves a date, right? But you don't want to put money into something that could literally make you a lot more money.
To go on a lot more dates.
And most people's first complaint when it comes to investing is, oh, but you can lose the money. Okay, but again, that's why you spend amounts of money you can afford to lose. If you spend $100 going to movies anyway, okay, that's not a need. That's a want. That's fun. That's a date. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't need that. So let's say instead of this time, this week you decide to put it here. If you lose it, you lose it. It's the same as if you went to the movies.
It's the same as if you go to the casino.
Yeah.
People go to the casino and be fine with sitting at the fucking slot machine. I don't know if it's the idea of it only being a penny slot or a 5-cent slot or whatever, but you still just spending
That's
money.
why you always start with a small amount. Right? But even if you think you're seasoned in the game, like, yo, and this is the type of situation because you are dealing with money, so obviously you're going to have to study. So someone's going to have to take the lead on it, at least into the point where you both get into it. And that's why I said I'm mainly talking to millennial men because I feel like y'all should take the point. Now, ladies, that don't mean you can't listen to this and be like, I'm going to take point. Take point. But I feel like the dude should take the point. But either way, someone's got to be willing to do the research to know what's going to blow up and what company is a good buy on top of making sure it's the amount of money that the household is comfortable losing. And that's the key. You always think of it as, what am I comfortable losing? Even though your plan is to make. You're going to make more than you're going to lose. Like, more often than not. But you still should go in, what am I comfortable losing? You don't put more than you're willing to lose. As long as y'all doing that, y'all good. But then that goes back to, like we said, trust. Speaking of trust, kids. Kids is trust. You trusting a lot.
Yes.
As a woman, you trusting he even gonna be here for real.
Yes, you gotta trust that he's gonna. Especially in our community, we ain't even gonna talk about our generation. Let's just talk about in our community in general. Like, it's not enough, dads in the homes. Shit, it ain't enough granddads. Like, it's not enough men in general. These families is full of women, and they being ran by women, and it's a bunch of baby ass niggas. And I'm not even trying to be funny, but these dudes is babied by their moms. They get older, they live with their moms until they ready to, I'm saying ready, until they find a bitch that they can move in with. Because 9 times out of 10, for some odd reason, the baby niggas always know which ones got their own places.
You stupid. Yo, they do be knowing that. Now that you say it, I never thought about that, but that's the truth.
They always be knowing who they can carry their PlayStation over to their house. That's your first sign right there, ladies. If you got your crib and this nigga's all over you, and then all of a sudden you come home and his PlayStation hooked up to your TV in your living room, then you gotta watch him. He trying to move in slowly. But anyway, they get babied their whole life into manhood, right? They're babied into manhood, and then they get with women, and they have no idea how to be a man or how to run a household or how to freaking even run their own money. Never even probably even really had an actual job, like a real job. Like, I don't even. It's just a lot. It's just a cycle. It's a cycle of just perpetual stupidity.
She's 100% right. Yeah, and that was a random rant, but it was 100% right.
I'm sorry, y'all.
It's 100% right. No, she's 100%. You were literally 100% right. You were literally 100% right. We have a lot of people coming from broken homes now. A lot of people just haven't seen families. Like you said, we don't not just not having dads, not having granddads.
Yeah.
We got generations, and it's like, you're coming up, and women are great. We love women. We need women. But at the end of the day, we also need balance.
Yes.
And you don't have no balance in that household, So it's like you got caregiving, you got love, you got nurture, you got attitude. You got a lot of stuff, but you ain't got that responsibility in there like that. You don't got that discipline in there like that. You don't got that hard work, This job sucks, but I got to get up and go anyway. Don't call out. Like, you don't got that type of attitude. So when you have those two attitudes together, you get beauty. When you have too much of one and not enough of the other or none of the other, you end up with a person who's too far left or right.
Yeah.
A lot of these dudes these days are too far right.
Yes.
So when it comes time, like you said, they give it a woman and they don't know, like they don't even really know what to do. It's like, okay, daddy, where we going? What are we doing? And he's like, I don't know what are we doing. And you like, what the fuck? I don't know what we doing.
Right. But he like, oh, you already got the place, the kid, the car, the good job, and everything.
If the dude's complacent, and again, obviously this is not all women, but come on, ladies, y'all know I'm right. Chances are, if your man's complacent, you're gonna be complacent. Yeah. If he's looking at like you already got a house, you got a car, it might be old as fuck, but it go.
Ladies
we got a bed.
Ladies
we
know
just gonna keep doing the same shit.
Yeah, ladies know that because bitches run around all day talking about you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. You can't say that and act like you don't know that if you deal the type of nigga you dealing with is the type of bitch you gonna be.
That's funny how you just pointed out one of women's many contradictions right there. Because they do be saying, like, what are you talking about?
Women say that shit all the time. You can't say that and then try to pretend like you don't get the idea.
Dudes don't be making me come. I only last like 30 seconds. They be like, wasn't you just celibate?
Right. Girl, bye.
But anyways, back to these niggas though, man. These moist niggas who out here. You don't know if they straight or gay. You know what I'm saying?
He's trying to make you believe that he just niggas. Metro. He just care about how he look.
They get down like you can get down. They say dropping low. You look across and see a nigga. He looking at you like Diddy and that dude. Me.
No, he twitching his shoulder better than Uzi. That's a problem.
Right. Like these new niggas is different. So it's like you telling this type of dude, right? You telling a dude who moonwalk into the room, grabbing his junk, twerking and two-stepping, that he got to run a household. Right? It's two kids, a dog, and his lady looking at him asking him what to do. And he's supposed to have an answer. He out here doing electric slide and shit. With some lime green and pink hair. He's like, why does he have lime green and pink hair? Nobody knows.
But everybody in the family just lets him be himself.
Just let him be
himself.
That's
the excuse. We just let him be himself.
We just let him be great. Whatever he's up to. He's just out here doing this shit. But but yeah, like niggas gotta be better.
Yes, super comical. It's bad because it's not funny, but it is funny because it's so stupid when you like really think about it. Because it's unnecessary as fuck. Communication is a big part of it too, and then you also have to be able to trust your partner to be able to communicate with them.
And that goes back to trust. Mm-hmm. It goes back to communication. Even right now, we're talking about kids. Yeah. It still all goes back to trust and communication because again, y'all gotta be talking effectively. I got a problem with two different types of people. I got a problem with dude who lay down with a woman, get a woman pregnant, but then not want to step up. But I got just as much a problem with a woman who lay down with a man, get pregnant, he tell you he don't want to get you, gonna have it anyway. But then have an attitude with the world. I got just as much a problem with both of those type of people, in my personal opinion. Yeah. Because both of y'all being selfish, y'all not communicating, y'all clearly don't plan on building anything together. So why even put this kid into this mess? Right. You literally say, I'm going to have a kid, I'm going to throw him into this mess. Mm-hmm. That's not how we build. And there's too many people who say everything I do is for my babies. I want my babies to have a better life to me. But what are you really doing to make that happen? Literally, when you wake up, ask yourself that question. When am I doing something my kid don't got to do what I'm doing right now? You got a little bit easier than I got. What are you really doing? And if you really think about it, and it might be a hard answer because some of y'all going to really think about it and be like, I ain't doing nothing. That's okay. That's what most people are going to think if they're being honest with themselves. You should be being honest with yourself. Unless you can tell me what your plan is, which most of y'all probably cannot.
Don't have a plan.
Right. Yeah. You need to get to it, and that's, like I said, that's okay. But seriously, ask yourself that question and be like, I could be doing more. And that's when we look into different types of investments, like annuities. For those of you who don't know what an annuity is, that's where you can take a certain lump sum of money, you can give it to this company, they'll put it into a bunch of different businesses, a bunch of different stocks, bonds for you. Then after it accumulates, it pays you every single month. I want everybody to think about a time in their life. Because we all have time in their life. I don't even care if you came from money. But if you came from a lot of money, you might can't relate. But just vibe with me here. Imagine that you didn't for 1 second. Okay? So, boom. Think about one time in life where you be like, damn, my tires just popped. I don't have it. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. Damn, I just broke my foot. I ain't got no insurance. I need an abortion. I don't got the money. I need to buy these textbooks for class. I don't got the money. My engine just blew up. I got to get to work tomorrow. What am I going to do? You know, I just want to think of all those different kind of situations. Think of how much it would have helped you if you would have been getting $300 every single month for no reason. This is on top of your paycheck, on top of everything. Or you're getting $800 every month. Or you're getting $1,000. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just $200. That's why I started low. It makes a difference.
Hell yeah.
On top of your paycheck?
Hell yeah.
I'm paying for. And you getting this before you even have a child? Before you even have a child.
It's so many people in the world who literally look at their paycheck and get angry at the amount of money that is taken out in taxes, the amount of money that they have to spend on bills, and the amount of money that they waste all at the same time. You think if you look at all of those numbers together, it almost always adds up to you should have some money left over some way, somehow. Mm-hmm. But you never do. So you always, every month you live in paycheck to paycheck, you like, okay, I'm going to do this with this, I'm going to do this with that, I'm going to do this with somehow, some way you still end up broke. Doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong. You gotta pay attention.
But that's what comes with being honest with yourself too.
Yeah, you gotta be honest with yourself.
Because you gotta literally realize, okay, somebody doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. It might be you, it might not be you, it might be your partner, or you might just forgot about something that came up, and you're like, oh, that's where that money went. It could be anything. But the point is, you gotta be honest with yourself and realize something's going on, and you both have to do it.
And you have to be willing to communicate that when you find out. When you figure out what the issue is or wherever you went wrong, I don't care if you gotta bring it up. Or you taking your time trying to figure out a way to bring it up. And you wait until it's a moment where you feel it's like, okay, this is a comfortable moment. We laughing. I should just, let me just find a way to throw this in there real quick. You have to say something about it. And that just goes back to communicating. And then, essentially trust.
Basically, yeah, communicate, trust. Like I said, just imagine all those moments and think about being able to do that for your kid. Mm-hmm. And annuities is just one of many ways you can do that for your kids. Obviously, stocks, bonds, you can invest for them, let that accumulate, give it to them when they come of age. But I think what's even doper, and stuff like that. But that's how you really set it up, for your children. Like, that's how you make sure your children have a better life. And that's what this type of discussions you guys need to have when you're talking about building together. Like, because something even as simple as a kid's name can become a big situation if you don't got that communication, that trust down. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I know y'all we keep saying it, but trust me, that's the biggest thing you can get for this. Communication and trust is a big thing. You can't build without those two things. It just won't work. Mm-hmm. And then you gotta think about the Jay-Z line, like, what's better than $1 billionaire too? So it's like everything you do, just think about how much better it will be if your partner did the same thing. If you know how to flip 401k investments to make more money, what if your partner do that too? What does that do for the household? More money for everybody. We gotta come off the selfish shit too. Oh, I make more money than her, or I know all this, but don't nobody else know it. Okay.
And how's that winning? How you winning?
Exactly, you're not. Like, spread the knowledge, bro. Right. Because then, like I said, your lady know it, now your lady eat. Your sister know it, now your sister eat. Your brother know it, now your brother eat. Now your family name means something. Mm-hmm. You gotta start having some pride. That's why I said a lot of this comes back to the dudes. Like, people call it sexism or whatever they want to call it, but that's just how I feel. A lot of it goes back to the dudes. You instill, to me, as the man of the household, you're the one who instills the pride of the household. The house is going to be a reflection of you as a man. So if that house seems like everybody in order, everybody's respectful, everybody's doing their thing, everybody's generally happy, that's because of you. You get what I'm saying? If it seems like that household is chaotic and the wife is being a hoe and the husband's just doing whatever and the kids are bad as fuck, that's a reflection of you too. You get what I'm saying? That comes back to you at the end of the day. They're gonna look at her and be like, what he not doing? Yeah. Tell me I'm lying.
Why you acting like that? What he done did now?
Well, it's gonna go back to you, the kids. They're like, where he at? Why he not doing nothing?
And you got he's not going to school, or this person not, this kid not doing this.
If y'all don't got no money, what they gonna say? What he doing?
What he doing? Why what he spending his money on?
If you need a babysitter, why he ain't got a babysitter? No bullshit, y'all laughing, but serious.
Why you gotta get the babysitter? Why he don't get the babysitter? Every time I talk to you when y'all going out somewhere, you the one that's got to find the babysitter. Do he pay for the babysitter when you find the babysitter?
Now sometimes this is me being ridiculous. The nigga paid for the whole date, and they like, what about the babysitter? No, he don't pay for the babysitter. Well, I mean, bitch, he paid for the meal and the movie and the gas. What the hell are you talking about? And the food.
Right.
And consider the fact that we live together, you ain't played for babysitter too, technically. So what are you talking about? That's another thing, y'all. Come off. If you live with someone, listen.
It's all one pot.
It's one pot, man.
One
Come
pot.
off of that shit. Now, I know some of y'all might be like, you said earlier that the dude should pay all the bills. Yeah, if you're the guy, your piece of that pie should be the biggest. But you should still look at it as one pie. Why? Because if you start looking at it as my pie, like I got 6 figures or I got $1 million and she got something else, you're hurting the household. Whether you realize it or not, trust me, you're hurting the household. You're not in competition with your spouse. I get it, especially us African Americans in America. We always in competition. You are not in competition with your spouse. If you are, it's a friendly competition. Just like, come on, you can do a little better than that. Everything is one. Like I said, it's just dangerous to have the thought process of this is mine and this is yours. No, it's one pot. And I promise you, I don't care if y'all doing good right now. If you go and you start and you talk with your partner and y'all start looking at everything as one pot instead of two, I promise you life will be easier. Like, right or wrong, Sam, does life get easier when you really start looking at it as long as somebody got money, we got money. Yeah. It literally, life gets easier. You're like, oh man, I used to panic about this kind of stuff.
Yes. And you feel good when you realize it's gonna work out, and sooner do you know it, somebody gonna get paid again.
Exactly. You be in a panic, do you think about it?
Yeah, you be in a panic, and you're like, what the fuck am I worried about? Nothing. I ain't got nothing to be worried about. But it's another thing to know that in trying to find a way to build, you're going to struggle, and it's gonna be hard. And a part of getting through that struggle and that, you know, that bad season, because that's what it's going to be. It would be a bad season, is being able to trust a person and knowing that they're going through it with you. You're not going through it alone. It's easier to say that you're a team and you're a team player when someone's just asking you the question. But when someone's actually asking you to, like, express that and exert that in your actions and you can't do it, that's an issue. Like,
you gotta be able to walk it like you talking.
Yeah, you have to.
If you talking that talk but you're not putting no action behind it, it's not gonna ring home.
Right.
You gotta talk that talk, and like I said, that's probably being a leader in the household, is teaching your seeds,
Yeah.
caring about your legacy, and that goes for both. There's too many people out here these days, just male and female, and they don't got no shame, they don't got no pride,
dignity,
like,
no pride,
nothing.
Nothing.
Like your name don't mean nothing to you. You don't care about how people look or what they think when they hear your name.
My son was a fetus, and I was concerned about how I was carrying myself. Like, I was concerned about how my belly looked, or if I had on something that just didn't make me look like I was ready to be a mom or something like that. Like, I literally would say before he was even born, like, I want my son to grow up and respect me. So I'm not gonna do anything that's gonna, be out there for him to see and be like, damn, my mama was a hoe. Like, my mama was out there. And y'all don't be acting like y'all ain't never looked at your mama, especially if she a single mama. You done looked at your mama like, which one is it today? No, just. But I'm just saying.
He's the one who buys me things. Because you always like the one who buy you shit. You like, my man,
that one that always come over with McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's with a rented video game. Yeah. You be turned up.
Hype,
ice cream.
Hype because you hype because he there because you got McDonald's, so you got that McDonald's toy. You got McDonald's and you got
all about the toy, yo.
And you got junk.
All about the toy.
It's all about the toy.
You don't even care about your sister getting her back blown out.
No,
you don't even hear. You don't be caring, yo. You don't be caring.
Not only that, but you hype because you know you about to be able to stay up late. Because whether it's your sister, your older sister, or your mama, they ain't paying attention just better you up because they getting fucked.
It don't make a difference. Even if it's like you say, even if it's your mom. If your mom's the type of mom who brought a dude over,
man, you up for the rest of the night.
You good. You do whatever you want. She's not gonna say, no, you can eat all the food. She won't be mad. She's just like, it's okay, baby.
She'll be mad the next day, though. Be like, damn, y'all didn't even leave me no food.
I ate all the food. Y'all didn't even care about me.
He's silly.
But nah, like I said, pets. You gotta figure out the person wants pets. A house.
Oh yeah, you can't. I think it's stupid.
Good Lord, the house.
I was gonna say, don't be the dick who buys a house before you get married or are in a serious relationship.
Such a stupid decision to me. I'm sorry.
That's so dumb.
To me, a house and kids should both be we in a serious relationship or married.
Maybe
really, we married.
You are a bachelor or a bachelorette, and you just want to step your foot into the mortgage world and know what it's like to own something. A condo when you're a bachelor.
I mean, if you have enough money that you're going to be able to have more than one property, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that too.
But if this is your thing, like this is going to be it for you, you should not be doing that by yourself.
Man, that's not fair. You're being selfish to your future significant other. You're not even giving them the choice of where to live. Like if they're okay with the area, the school, district, and all that stuff like that. That's big. And that's
a big decision. That's a big decision. Moving is not a small thing. It's not a small thing.
That's one of the top
because your kids. I mean, if you have any kids, your kids are moving too. So it's a big thing.
Moving's like in the top 5 of stresses that a human being is going to go through.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big deal. You can't just make those types of decisions before you actually settle down. What if you get with somebody and they don't like the area that you live in, or they don't like the house, or they don't like they feel like it's not big enough because they want to have a certain amount of kids. You know what I'm saying? You can't. No. Then you be fucking before you know it, selling the shit before you even lived in it for a good.
Selling it for less than you brought it for because you underwater and shit. Yeah. Because you done did a couple of forbearances. So your interest and capitalized on that ass. So this $100,000 house somehow $300,000 now. You trying to sell it for $100,000. I mean, you got $200,000 to come up with, and you can't come up with it. And she ain't got it either, and he ain't got it either. She all fucked. You're all stuck in this house that nobody picked but you. That's messed up. Like I said, if you ain't got enough money to get more than one property, you should not be buying a house on your own. Now, if you big baller brand and you out here doing your thing, then go ahead and do your thing. Right. I actually would encourage you to dabble in the property management. Fuck it. You got the money to. Shit. Mm-hmm. I would encourage that. I'm just talking to y'all regular people, especially y'all dudes, because some of y'all dudes like to live larger than you really living. You know, here buying a house, buying a Ferrari, you living paycheck to paycheck, and this woman come in here and she's expecting certain things, you ain't got it. It's food. Mm-hmm. Girl, I eat at McDonald's. And food. Washcloths.
Not washcloths.
You go to the bad bitch from Instagram's house, she's sleeping on a cotton shit. She's talking about bed.
Right.
Cable. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about y'all type of motherfuckers. Like, ain't nothing wrong with being in that spot. If you in that spot.
The type of bitches you go in their bathroom and the faucet, the water is a stream. It's not a.
It's a rope running down the ceiling.
It don't come out all the way. It just do that. Like a light stream of water come out, no matter how many times you twist the handle.
And it'd be the bold roaches at a hood rat house.
Oh, yes.
A hood rat roach is a different type of roach.
They bold.
They just look at you. There. Yeah, they just look at you like, what you gonna do?
You know
you gonna crush me? It's 1,000 of us.
That roach is comfortable. You turn the light on and stay where it was. It's comfortable. And it's nothing
like, this is my house. The mice don't run. They be like, what's up? This is the new nigga?
Oh, shit.
Then the mice even know she a hoe. You be like, that's crazy.
Like, yeah, this a new nigga. He be bringing pizza her and shit. I know because he be dropping it. I be fucking it up.
Yeah, wait till she go to sleep like you stink, bitch. And then I eat all shit. Oh, shit. But that's how you start the foundation to build together, guys. First,
Financially, anyway.
That's how you start. As far as building together, because I feel like building together a relationship is broken up through all the episodes. You know what I mean? Like, building together a relationship is bad broad.
Yeah, it is.
So I was just talking about, typically when people say building together, they mean like becoming a power couple. They talk about finances.
Yeah.
And I don't think we talk about that enough.
No, we
So that's the only reason I want to pinpoint that. Like, different things you can do to really put your family together, put your family out.
But the point with that little light lesson was that it all just comes back to trust. That's part of the big part of the foundation is trust. You can't do any of that other stuff if you don't have that.
And not being scared. Too many of us are scared to take a chance. Hey, listen, man. Scared money don't make no money. Literally. At all. Literally. That was not a joke. Yeah, that was not a joke. You can't make money if you're scared to spend it. It's impossible. Yeah. You got to drive to work, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to get whatever tool it is you need. You need a tool. You can't do nothing with no tool. So you need some kind of a tool, computer, or whatever. That's gonna cost, So it's like you gotta spend money to make the money, but you gonna make it right back.
You're not gonna invest in yourself. You can't expect nobody else to.
Nobody else is going to spend a check and get it right back. That's gotta be a mentality sometimes. And this can't be a mentality for your life. And that's why doing this type of stuff is important for 401k. A lot of y'all don't even know what that is yet, and I need y'all to look that up.
Okay.
That's a whole other episode.
Okay. I can't do it, but
right. You said you want to give us a closing recap of where the people can find us.
Well, if you guys want to find us, you guys can look us up at Alex and Sam Show on Twitter and Gmail.
Somebody's still gonna be like, what? Damn, I said I wasn't gonna do it.
You did say you
wasn't. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sam.
And we out.
We out.